You can see the heartbreak behind me. This right here is a down power pole. The wind knocked it down. This is a pope that is very, very well liked here in the States.
The conditions are far from pleasant. You can see we're almost blowing away here, but we're going to continue to watch it.
The program in York County has been so successful, there's already talks of expanding, getting more first responders trained to fly, and adding smaller drones just like these to the back of patrol cars to be able to deploy in a matter of minutes. This is absolutely the place to be tonight. The first concert at Waterside just wrapped up a bit ago. You can see this barrier that has formed around this tent to protect this one event. Tim Kaine has not lost an election, 8 elections to win. He believes that he's going to take home the prize tomorrow night, and we will see. And of course, we're going to have it all covered for you here as Tim Kaine. You can hear the crowd, Tim Kaine landing, and we are going to be covering this, of course, live streaming it over on wavy.com. We're live in Richmond tonight from an energized Richmond International Airport. I'm Joe Fisher, 10 on your side. I want to step out of the way just to give you a clearer look at the damage here at the Real Life Christian Church. This is the auditorium of the church, now mangled. Church members say they're just shocked by it all.
I think the wind got up under it.
This is the unfortunate mark left by Mother Nature.
And it looks like the back half of the church has almost pancaked down.
The damage from a possible tornado brought part of the Real Life Christian Church in Chesapeake to the ground Friday night. There's damage surrounding the 19-year-old building, too.
You can see where trees are down on the other side of the building, and then a lot of lamp posts and stuff are down over here.
Church member James Green says he got a call around 7:30.
And that call was from a friend who said, hey, a third of the church is in the field across the street.
Green says the auditorium collapsed, windows busted out, the metal roof peeled off, covering a tree in the parking lot like a blanket.
I think it's total, to tell you the truth, because now the rain's gotten onto it, everything inside.
Green says everything happens for a reason, even the unexpected.
God's going to take care of it, and we're going to be all right. Some good's going to come out of it. It's a tough blow right now.
The cars, the tape, the pictures, gunshots interrupt everyday life. Nothing new for those living near 45th Street in Newport News.
I was in my room, laying down, eating, and reading my book.
In front of us, a crime scene. Behind us, images of who those crimes affect.
He actually wants to be a police officer when he gets older. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a lot of work, it looks like. So I'm just hoping that soon one day that we'll be able to get along.
The latest victim, a 17-year-old, shot Thursday afternoon in the back near this apartment complex on Madison Avenue.
It's not really that shocking. Like I said earlier, it'd be shocking when it stops, it calms down.
The shots fired just feet from where this young boy plays outside.
I'm hoping that in the future that my son will be able to live in this neighborhood.
Where this mother has to keep an extra careful eye.
You're supposed to use your gun to protect yourself, not to hurt a child.
Where this father picks his daughter up from the bus stop.
She just asked me, why can't she walk home? This is why.
Life here isn't fun. Just ask Tiara Flowers.
Shots fired all the time, and it's just sad. Nobody want to die.
The violence hard to handle, but living on these streets without a gun is hard to imagine.
We need guns, that's the thing, to protect ourselves.
Violence here might be common, but never comfortable.
I mean, it's a lot of anger and frustration out here, it seems like. Once they get a hold on that, things should get a lot better.
Our investigation shows Portsmouth Public Schools suspended 17% of their student body last year. Compare that with Virginia Beach, which suspended 4%. Portsmouth isn't the only problem district, but parents there are now fighting back, pointing to the negative consequences of suspending kids. The school-to-prison pipeline shows the link. Kids kicked out of class eventually end up in jail. A controversial theory, but the ACLU says suspended students are 3 times more likely to end up in the juvenile justice system.
Go in any prison and ask an inmate, when you were in school, have you ever been suspended? they will say yes multiple times.
It's a problem newly elected school board member Lakeisha Atkinson is now committed to fixing after endless complaints by Portsmouth parents. Are too many kids getting suspended?
Yes, yes, far too many.
Carl Burden's grandson got suspended for cursing. He feels current policies are outdated.
Most kids today are going to use profanity, but is it really a reason to give a kid 10 days home from school?
The data shows suspensions are on the rise in Portsmouth. 2,058 students got suspended in 2014, about 200 more in 2015, up another 200 last year. Superintendent Eli Bracey says there's a problem.
We want to start seeing reductions in suspensions.
Last year, Portsmouth suspended 1 in 6 students. Similar-sized school districts like Hampton suspended 1 in 7. Suffolk suspended 1 in 10 students.
I see too many days out of school, and that's too many days of students not learning.
Bracey says it's possible Portsmouth numbers are higher because of newer teachers with less experience managing a classroom.
You know, if there is a fight, or if there's outright disrespect, yeah, chances are there will be a suspension, because we're not going to tolerate any fighting in the schools. We're not going to tolerate outright disrespect to your teachers.
While Bracey says fights make up much of the suspensions, parents argue otherwise. Lisa McDonald says her son has been suspended more than a dozen times, mostly for disruptive behavior.
Don't throw them to the wayside because you feel like they're a problem child. Pull them to the side. Find out what's going on with that child. You got to get to the root of what's going on.
Out of frustration, McDonald and Burden joined Virginia Organizing, a grassroots group now working with parents and the district to come up with solutions. Can Portsmouth do better?
Yes, absolutely. I feel they can. Once they put forth the effort and show that they really have these kids' best interests at heart, definitely, they can do better.
10 on Your Side dug deeper into the numbers and discovered one big problem: repeat offenders. Every district faces the same problem. In Newport News, 3,600 students accounted for more than 7,000 suspensions. In Portsmouth, 2,449 students accounted for nearly 5,000 suspensions.
We just don't have that different approach. Some would say, come back and say, well, the budget doesn't call for different approaches. Well, we can come up with budget-friendly alternatives. We can.
Atkinson says instead of missing class, students could potentially volunteer for nonprofit organizations.
What are we teaching the kids by having them miss a whole day of school?
Atkinson has already called for the review of the Student Code of Conduct, and while she's just one voice and one vote, she plans on being outspoken to bring suspension numbers down.
I feel like I have the city on my back, and that's fine because I'm going to go and do what I said I was going to do.
And 3 bills have been introduced in the state legislature to address school discipline, one of which would ban the suspension of kids from pre-K to 5th grade. Last year in our region, administrators suspended more than 4,000 elementary students. I'm Joe Fisher, 10 on Your Side. Some of those fans just coming out of Scope Arena tonight. Norfolk State taking the win over South Carolina State in overtime to advance to the semifinals. That game will be Friday. Now, this is, of course, a big week for basketball in Norfolk, but it's also a big week for business. It's the tournament some wait for all year.
Go Orange! Go Blue!
The rivalry.
Go Orange! Go Blue!
The camaraderie.
Yeah!
Barbara McGee and Tony Wright bleed the colors of Savannah State.
We need to support our young athletes.
Their alma mater, one of 13 historically black colleges and universities in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, or MEAC.
No line, no waiting.
The energy building outside.
Thank you.
As fans inside cheer on their favorite teams.
And we're hoping to see some of them go to the professional level.
But in between the action, this couple from Raleigh admits they're dropping cash around town.
We've gone to a couple of shops at the mall. We have been dining outside the arena.
Visit Norfolk estimates the tournament generates $4.6 million for the city's economy.
Oh, it's a beautiful city and the people are so very, very friendly.
Restaurants, hotels, attractions.
I look forward to going down on your waterfront.
It's good news for businesses near the Scope like AJ Gators.
The MEAC does bring people out.
Server Kenyetta White expects to finish her shift with an extra $150 in tips.
A lot of people are eating our wings, our burgers, drinks. We have drink specials.
Filling their appetite and filling the stands at a tournament that's become a tradition.
We want to try to help build that conference up. And so our attendance, I'm sure, is going to help do that.
And Norfolk State again advancing to the semifinals Friday. Hampton University's men's basketball team will play here at Scope tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, the MEAC tournament will be here again in Norfolk next year. And the city of Norfolk says tonight that they plan on entering discussions with tournament officials to keep it here even longer. We're live in Norfolk tonight outside Scope Arena. I'm Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.